The first thing which we will going to study as a classroom is the characteristics of the living things. We all know about the life in different ways. It's more or less like a philosophical topic to talk instead of a biological topic. What life is all about. And let me ask you people first that what do you think when you imagine the concept of life in your mind? What life is to you? Anybody wants to speak other than the online students? Sorry about that. G.
It can start with the moment.
You don't. Hold on. G. जोर से बोलना आपने. Life is a journey. जी. शाबाश. आपने नाम बताना फिर बताना. इकरा ने कहा life is a journey. जी. मैं समझ क्यों नहीं पा रहा हूँ. Growth. Life is a growth. ये किसने बताया हमें? कामरान ने बताया life is a growth. जी. I will make you famous. Don't worry. G. Anybody else? Okay. So life is, when you imagine life, you imagine certain features associated with life. The features like movement, the features like talking, the features like eating, the features like growing, the features like having a next generation, giving birth to the next generation. That is something we can relate with the life. When we imagine life, we can also imagine two sorts or two kinds of lives out there. The one generally are the lives which we can refer as animals, and the other sort of lives are like the life of plants. So on the planet Earth, we can assume that the life exists in terms of animals and in terms of the plant. Whatever the molecules and elements exist outside the domain, outside the domain of that thing, whatever the animals and plant, whatever the molecules exist outside the domain of animals and plants, they are the same molecules, they are the same elements, but they are not life. Imagine a carbon exists in coal, कोयले में barbecue करते हुए जो carbon है, that is a non-living carbon. But when the same carbon exists in our body, it's a living carbon, it's a part of the living system. Nothing is coming outside from this planet other than the sunlight. So whatever the molecules and chemicals exist in the living things, all those chemicals and molecules are coming from where? They are coming from the non-living things. Whatever the material I am having at this time in my body was once part of some stone, some dust, some tree, or some other part in a non-living system. The chemicals are same. So in a deeper concept, when the molecule exists in one way, they are non-living. When the same molecule exists in another way, they are living. इसको एक शायर ने बताया बड़े मजे से कि जिंदगी क्या है अनासिर का ज़हूर तरतीब. Life is about the arrangement of elements and molecules in a particular way. मौत क्या है उन्हीं अनासिर का परेशान होना. If the same elements and molecules got disrupted, that is what we call as the death. That is called as the non-living things. So is the basic fundamental things which are making ourselves living, they are also part of the non-living things as well. But what is the difference? The difference exists in the arrangement of those elements and molecules. Our bodies are made up of elements and molecules. The bodies of the non-living things are also made up of elements and molecules. But the order, the arrangement, the delicate balance between these molecules make us living. If the balance is gone, that means the death. So now you might be able to figure it out that why people die, why the living things eventually ended up in death. Whenever you want to speak, just raise your hand and start speaking. Shabash. Ji. एलिमेंट्स हमारी बॉडी से डिकम्पोज होकर अलग हो जाते हैं. जी जी जी. आपका नाम? आमना ने बताया कि जब हमारी डेथ हो जाती है, इट्स लिटिल बिट स्केरी टू स्पीक इन दिस वे, तो जो भी हमारे बॉडी में एलिमेंट्स और मॉलिक्यूल्स होते हैं, दे स्टार्टेड लूजिंग आवर बॉडी एंड ऑफ कोर्स दे विल बिकम पार्ट ऑफ द नॉन लिविंग सिस्टम अर्थ एंड देन अगेन एंटर्स इनटू द लाइफ साइकिल वंस अगेन. It will become part of the rivers, it become part of the water, and then absorbed by the plants, then became part of the plant, and plant is eaten by another animal, and then is eaten by another animal, and eventually ended up in the other living system. The beautiful thing which you can characterize life is about the arrangement, the delicacy. So if you manage to keep those balance intact, if you able to manage the balance, keep the balance for a longer period of time, you will be able to live longer. If you disrupt the balance of those between the molecules and between the elements in the living system, you will going to disrupt the life as well. Whatever the nutritionist and other people are telling you, healthy diet. Why healthy diet? Because the healthy diet will going to help and support the balance. Staying away from the emotional stress. Why staying away from the emotional stress? Because staying away from the emotional stress will going to support that delicate balance, will help you to live longer. Eating a diet with high cholesterol means you are putting the chemicals in trouble. So eventually you came to know that the existence of life, it actually depends on the existence of the balance between all those molecules. But even if you have all the molecules of life, even if you have all the delicacies of life in you, even after that, you need more to exist as a living system. Even after that, you need more things to exist as a living. Now imagine the complexities associated with the living system, and then imagine humans, the creature which is supposed to be the best possible form of life. Ahsani Takweem, you know, we are the people who are created we are the creature who are created in the best possible form. Do you believe that we are the best possible form of species on the planet Earth? Do you believe we are the best possible creation, the best possible species? How many of you believe that you are the best possible? Think from the perspective of the chicken which you ate yesterday or the day before yesterday. We are the monsters. I mean, in this case, we just ate a living system a few days ago. Ji. इसलिए हमें उन्हें खाना पड़ता है. शाबाश शाबाश. Don't hesitate. Don't stop yourself for cross talking. Okay? इतनी खप डाल सकते हैं, कीप डालें. Don't worry. जी एक दूल्हा कुछ बोलना है और एक दूसरे की तरफ मुंह करके खप डालें. एक दूसरे को बताएंगे तुम गलत कह रहे हो, सही कह रहे हो. बस फाइट लड़ना नहीं है बस. Abdullah is saying that life on the planet Earth is dependent on each other. So one way or another, we are dependent on the other animals as well. But the problem is that the difference between humans and other species is that the other species exist in balance with each other. वो एक दूसरे के साथ बैलेंस में रहती है. And हम, what we are doing, we are just, you know, जहां पर planet Earth में सिर्फ एक ही स्पीशीज की पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है पिछले चंद सौ साल से. Humans. We are breeding plants for ourselves. We are raising the chickens. एक लिहाज से हम कितना अच्छा करते हैं ना, हम चिकन्स को रेज करते हैं, वरना वो पैदा ही ना होते. अगर हम वो फॉर्म ना बनाए, you know, कंट्रोल्ड शेड्स अगर आपने देखे हो, it's very difficult to raise that many chickens at one place. They need to control the conditions very intelligently. But we are raising them for ourselves and like for the other cattle as well. But even having all the things, all the living components in ourselves does not make us an independent living thing. There exist more variables which you should have with you in order to exist as a living system. The first thing you need to know, study about all these living system is called as the biology. इसको पढ़ना, इसको बोलते हैं biology. That is what we call as the study of life. The study of life, or the study of plants and the study of animals, and how they are existing, what are the dependent factors they are having on each other, how they are related with each other, how many organs are there which are important for the execution of their functions, and all these things. So anything which exists as a living thing on the planet, as I explained earlier, should have a delicate balance of the molecules. After that, you should know certain special characteristics which are very simple in one way. These simple characteristic features makes a one thing as a living thing. It's very easy. I don't want to spend much time on. For example, feeding is the first thing you can associate with a living thing. If a system is living, it needs food. आप मुझे बता सकते हैं कि फूड क्यों चाहिए लिविंग सिस्टम को? Why a living system is dependent for food? शाबाश शाबाश. आपका नाम? अदील ने कहा ये हमें चाहिए एनर्जी के लिए और लिविंग के लिए. एक्चुअली आपने अपना ओरिजिनल काम जो है ना हमारा ओरिजिनल मंत्रा अबाउट लाइफ, द बैलेंस बिटवीन द मॉलिक्यूल्स, वो नहीं बोलना है. That balance of molecules in our bodies exists as a result of the chemical reactions. Those chemical reactions are called as metabolism. The term आपने सुनी होगी, called as metabolism. All the chemical reactions which are going on in our body is called as metabolism. Those metabolic chemical reactions requires ingredients to execute, requires energy to execute. So we need to supply, we need a constant supply of ingredients to execute all those metabolic chemical reactions. We need to give them ingredients, or we need to give them the energy molecules so they can execute the chemical reaction. That is why the food is a topmost priority for any living system. Other thing which you can associate with the living system is the movement. Typically, living things can move from one place to another. Aeroplanes can move from one place to another as well, but they're not living because they don't have the other characteristics. Just showing one characteristics like they can move. Vehicles can move from one place to another. Living things can move, but not all the living things can move from one place to another. Like plants do not traditionally move from one place to another. They used to stay at one place. Think about a life from the plant's perspective. A tree is standing at a place for the last 100 years. Oh my God. Nowadays, it's a very common and very wonderful to speak in this way that I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk with many people and something like that. It's a fashion nowadays. Trees are ideally introvert species out there. They exist at one place for all of their lives. They observe things, they can observe the change outside, but they exist at one place for the rest of it. So they need to develop themselves, they need to adopt themselves in such a way that they can keep their balance. Means they can keep their life, they can keep their existence, provided they are not able to move from one place to another. And in a perspective of evolution, it starts from the plants, from immotile organisms, and then they evolve into the organism which can move from one place to another. Now you can tell me why there is a need for the living things to change their place, why they should move from one place to another. जी, किसके लिए? सर्वाइवल के लिए. किसने बताया मुझे? ईशा ने बताया कि सर्वाइवल के लिए they are dependent. You know why I'm repeating the sentences? I'm repeating the sentences for those people. Okay, they can't hear you. Please speak louder like me. You can sit in your way, but just speak louder.
You said that everything from evolution that started from the plants, right? So wasn't it the unicellular organism that often the Big Bang, and that started life of the plants and fish that ultimately is leading up to the new species?
No. Big Bang is a different thing. When the earth was created, it starts from the molecules, and then the assembly of molecules in a functional sort of molecules, in a functional type of molecules, they develop into some preliminary version of life called unicellular systems. The initial unicellular animals, the more primitive ones, they are more like plants, because they are not dependent on other organisms for their food. Plants are not dependent. The tree in our house do not depend on us that we should feed them. They can create their own food, and they can get the water from the soil and get the carbon dioxide gas from the air, and they can create their own food. But that is how life has started, from a simpler versions to the complicated version. But animals are far more superior than plants. I don't know, I don't believe on this argument, but generally we assume that animals are far more superior because they can move from one place to another. So there might be an evolutionary plus point is linked with this ability to move from one place to another. G. On humans? Shabash, it's a very good question. कौन सा क्या नाम है? ईशा ने पूछा, हमारे पास दो ईशा हैं? That's आपका name same है? Okay. ईशा ने पूछा है. It's a very good question because I was talking about that the animal and life are actually dependent on each other. तो क्या दुनिया में कोई ऐसा organism है which is dependent on us? The answer is yes. There are many organisms which are waiting us to die. Which are waiting us to die. And there are many organisms which are living comfortably with us in our own internal organ systems. Our gut, intestine, are harboring hundreds, thousands of other microorganisms. They are living there. They are consuming the food which we are eating, and in return, they are giving us some important, interesting chemicals. And we are actually allowing them to exist with us because the mutual existence is actually beneficial for both of them. When the doctor gave you the antibacterial or antibacterial stuff, something like amoxicillin or something like augmentin, it is supposed to kill the microorganisms into your body which is causing the sickness. But at the same time, it will also kill the fruitful microorganisms which are mutually existing in your intestine as well. So after that, you can feel that your intestine is, just go out of order for a couple of days because of the death of those microorganisms. And it will take some time to grow them back in a normal way as well. So there are organisms which are living with us, and there are lot more organisms which are waiting for us to die. Because when humans die, their body and their structure eventually assimilated by other microorganisms, and it became part of the earth once again. Those organisms are called as decomposers. Those are called as decomposers. So decomposers are the microorganisms which can consume the chemicals present in the living system, in a higher order living system like animals and plants, and convert them into simpler one. Imagine their job. Imagine their job. Imagine if the decomposers do not exist out there. The planet Earth will be like a heap of dead bodies of plants and animals. When we grow, when we eat simpler things. We convert them into simpler things, and then we remake the complicated molecules which are required for our existence in our body. So our body is a collection of very large number of complicated big molecules. They are of no use for other plants and animals. So nature has given this wonderful task, the recycling task. The recycling task to the microorganisms called as decomposers. They work on the dead bodies and they transfer their complicated structures into simpler ones, so they can get dissolved into the earth, they can get dissolved into the water, and then become part of the life cycle once again. The third thing is the respiration, exchange of gases. That we can associate things with the living system as well. Plants, whether they are plants, they are animals, they are dependent on respiration in the same way. When we respire, we receive oxygen from outside, whether we are animals or we are plants. no matter. Both of them do the same thing. The oxygen enters into our body and eventually meet with the food material out there, जो हम खाते हैं. Eventually shake hands with the food material out there within our body. And then this chemical reaction generates energy. And that energy we use to execute the functions of life, to execute the chemical reactions, to execute the metabolism, and to execute whatever we are doing today. Even if I need to move, if I need to speak to you people, if I need to move from one place to another, which I can't move at this time because of these guys, I'm restless. As a teacher, I can't stick myself at one place. I will buy the collar mic for you people, so I can move around easily. So if I need to move from one place to another, I need to execute certain metabolic chemical reactions so that my muscles can contract and I can move in a synchronous way. And that those metabolic chemical reactions require energy. And that energy is produced as a result of respiration. So imagine no respiration, no energy, no metabolic chemical reaction, no life. Whether you're a plant or you're an animal. If I want to see, even creating an image in our brain requires hell of metabolic chemical reactions. हम इसको इतना granted लेते हैं, took it so much granted. If the landscape contains more colors, you need to execute more chemical reaction in order to evaluate the difference in different type of colors. ये जरा dark shade है, ये कम, ये red है, ये blue है. So your eyes and the cells out there, they need to execute lots of metabolic chemical action just in order to create one image. And all those metabolic chemical reactions require what? They require ingredients as well as the food. So if the food and the energy, if the energy molecules are not there, that means no life can exist. So respiration is the one way which can provide oxygen, or in general, it can give a way to produce energy. Next one is the excretion. I'm explaining actually everything in this slide. The excretion is some sort of, I must say, is a term which usually confused with the term egestion. When we eat something like food, we convert that complicated molecules present in the food into simpler one within our digestive system. I will explain how later on. And then we consume the useful material out of the food. We absorb them into our blood system. Whatever the unwanted material left out there into within our intestine is called as undigested material. That is released from the intestine. It is called as egestion. It has nothing to do with excretion. Excretion is the removal of waste material produced as a result of metabolism within our bodies with the help of kidneys and in the form of urine. So whatever we are releasing in terms of with the help of urine is called as excretion. So very complicated phenomena and very important one. Life is all about chemical reactions, the metabolisms. So in the chemical reaction, you need certain things and you don't need certain other things. The unwanted material produced during a chemical reaction, they are called as byproducts. And many of the byproducts we don't need. Accumulation of those unwanted material within our body might be a curse. So we need to get rid of those unwanted materials. So from the cells, it is collected into the blood. From the blood, it is filtered out by the kidneys. And from the kidneys, it is expelled in the form of urine. So the urine is the unwanted chemical products of our metabolic chemical reactions, which we must have, which we must get rid of. Because इसकी importance पूछनी है तो अल्लाह ना करे जिन लोगों का किडनी खुदा ना खास्ता काम नहीं करता है, which are on dialysis or something, you just ask them the importance of the function of the kidneys. अगर आप एक किडनी रिमूव कर दे तो we can survive. The answer is yes. even 1/3 of the one kidney is good enough to execute our function. 1/3 of the one kidney is good enough to execute our functions. Now imagine yourself how bad we are. If we develop a kidney failure at the age of 40, 50 or 55, that means even the 1/3 was good enough and we misused that thing. We misused our kidney in such a bad way that eventually it ended up in failure. हम कैसे misuse करते हैं? जब हम गंदा पानी पीते हैं, मैं तो ठीक हूँ. You are all right, but your your kidney needs to work very hard in order to get rid of those bad materials. Your kidneys resources are consumed earlier than the people who are not drinking the bad water. It's not you don't need to buy for the expensive water. At least you can boil it for yourself. Whatever you are eating out there, कैफे ढूंढते हैं, जो गंद बला खाते हैं यहाँ पर, वेवी, लेज और पता नहीं क्या क्या खाते रहते हैं. Spend the same amount of money in bringing the food on campus with you. It does not give you a very weird signal to the other. It looks cute, yaar. You are actually having your own lunch box, taking out your own lunch box and having a fruit out there. Or that's a wonderful thing. You should not put your body into trouble. Help the balance so you can exist longer as compared to the other people. Okay. The next is that we have the next thing we can see, the living things can grow, it can move, they can grow as well. So we can see plants growing like a tiny bird and then eventually converted into a tree. We can see a baby is growing because they have more number of cells. They have the size of their cells and structures are enhanced and increased. So growth is one of the way we can relate with the living system. Sensitivity. That's interesting. The living things are sensitive. Some are more, or some are sensitive by purpose. The same statement on one day from your friend might be a funny joke, but the same statement on another day might be a reason of a big fight with the same friend on the same day. We are sensitive. Living things are sensitive. The sensitivity means, not in an emotional sense, in a psychological sense. Sensitivity means that we can sense the changes out there in our system. We are a living thing, we are a living system, we are existing with a non-living system out there, abiotic system. The air is out there, the water, temperature, whatever outside our body is an abiotic system. We are living with that. So a living system knows, it develops the sense organ which can sense the changes out there. जो वहां पर मौजूद changes को sense कर सकते हैं, temperature changes को sense कर सकते हैं. We can sense a lot of things. For that, living things usually are provided with sense organs. Can you name the sense organs? There are 5 senses. The 5 sense organs. Sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste. These are the 5 senses which are provided for what purpose? So we can sense the changes out there. ताकि हम अपने balance को बचा लें. Imagine if we don't know the temperature is extreme out there. If we fail to feel the coldness, we might put our living system or balance into trouble and that can lead to a death. But we came to know, yahan sardi hai, yahan se bhag jao. So we need to know what are the changes out there, and for that purpose we are provided with those 5 beautiful sense organs. जी. आपका नाम? इकरा ने कहा कि हमें अडॉप्ट भी करना चाहिए, ये लर्निंग है, दिस इज अडॉप्ट करती है. बिल्कुल सही है. एडाप्टेशन भी होनी चाहिए कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स में कि जो लिविंग थिंग्स हैं, दे अडैप्ट एंड दे ट्राई टू एग्जिस्ट in a newer ways as well. They try to adapt, but they can adopt within their own limits. They can adopt under the certain limits. There are 6 sense as well. एक छठी विस भी होती है. घर में जाके महसूस हो जाता है, आज डांट पड़े. You can sense कि अब्बा जी आज गुस्से में हैं, never know कि आज कभी किसी ना किसी बात पर डांट पड़ेगी. क्या कहते हैं उसको? Psychological sense or the 6th sense. Okay. You can sense कि आज कोई गड़बड़ होगी, आज something is bad out there. But in addition to these senses which you commonly know, there exist many more senses out there. Biological senses out there. You can sense height, increase in temperature, decrease in temperature. You can sense the hunger. भूख लग रही है यार, कुछ लोगों को अक्सर लगती है, तो अक्सर भूख लग रही है. It's very important sense for you because that is an indication that your metabolic chemical reactions needs energy to execute. So you should eat something in order to give them the energy products. Emotional sense, आप जज्बाती हो जाते हैं. So awareness of position ये ख़वातीन में ज़्यादा होती है as compared to the male. They can sense, I can tell you, they can sense somebody is looking at them. It's just a sense that they are like talking to you, but somebody is walking around here and they can sense somebody is actually observing her or not. Awareness of position. Who is where? Who is standing where? Although we are not looking at them, but we can sense the things around us. And there is another sense like the body balance. That is a very complicated sense. रोबोटिक्स में लोगों की जान निकली हुई है इस इंसानों की तरह रोबोट को चलाने में, इतने ज्यादा सेंसर्स लगाने पड़ते हैं उनको. एंड we just took it granted. We can move here and there, we can run faster, we can run slower, and all these things require a very delicate calculations from our brain. And the last is the wonderful thing is the reproduction. I would love to talk on this thing more, because reproduction is a concept which I like to talk. I don't know how much time I'm having at this time. Let me try to conclude. The last characteristics of the living system is the reproduction. The living systems, the living things are supposed to produce things like them. Actually, the problem with the reproduction is that, not the problem, but the beautiful thing associated with the reproduction is that there are two types of forces according to my understanding. You don't need to believe on this thing. The one is the evolutionary force, which is trying to make us better and better and better. There is another force, which is natural deterioration force, which actually consumes the things over the period of time. Like अगर आप कोई machine लेके आते हैं, कोई भी motorbike लेके आते हैं, कोई भी machine, after some period of time, it will going to, ये एक खास वक्त के बाद खराब हो जाए. Natural wear and tear is there. So evolution, the ultimate agenda of life. The ultimate agenda of life. You know what is the ultimate agenda of life? मैंने कहा एक आर्टिकल में ओपनिंग लाइन में लिखा. The ultimate agenda of life is not to die. Whatever we are doing, imagine आप हैरान होंगे तुमके. Whatever we are doing is to do one purpose, not to die. Eating, not to die. Even not to die. Whatever we are doing, we are planning things not to die. But because of the natural wear and tear, sooner or later you will be dead. Allah knows, but that is the reality. We will be dead. So the life has no answer for the death. Life has all the answers for the comfort and other things. We can make our lives better, more easier, healthier, beautiful. We can do whatever, but the life don't have any answer against the death. Reproduction is the answer to the death. I will be dead sooner or later, but I might be able to live in my son, because whatever the genes I have developed over the period of time, over the millions of years, I have developed certain DNA and genes in myself. That genes will going to be part of my kids. I will be dead, but my genes, my information will going to survive in that. This is like existing larger than life. And you don't know, we are all working to make our next generation better than us.